recording in progress with Doc Brown and the lightning storm that stopped the clock in Back to the Future. Because we've just been celebrating Michael J. Fox and those movies all day today with our Jam for Joy.
And now
What
with this,
can you
your
do?
daily dose. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe and like. We need your subscribers
Yes, please. We are
and
we have
likers.
a big goal of a big number of 1,000 by Halloween, by the end of this month.
So you've
So
reflected on Michael J. Fox, you said.
well, it was a story that I haven't ever told anybody, but is true. So earlier today in the jam, a number of people thanked Michael and talked about what an inspiration he had been. And I remember my experience when I got this diagnosis 7 years ago, 7 years in a week, just saying. Um, and I knew that he had written some books. And I went to the bookstore back when we used to have bookstores everywhere.
Mhm.
And I picked up the first one, which is called Lucky Man. And I just held that book in my hands and I just kept looking at that title. I'm going to cry because my eyes filled up with tears. It was an amazing feeling to know I had Parkinson's at that point, that this guy who had had it for so long could write a book called Lucky Man. And I remember just, I, it meant so much that that's what he said. And the next book was there, which was called Always Looking Up again. And it's just like, that's an amazing perspective. And so, yes, inspiration, Michael, but maybe not from where you think. You've done so much through your foundation and with the research, but the titles of your books, just the titles, and then reading them and then reading about when you fell in the kitchen. And that was like almost worse than everything else. And here you are, you're still out there thinking of yourself as a lucky man. That's a whole new definition of inspiration for me. And
Yeah.
I'm really grateful.
He embodies what's not wrong with your life, gratitude. Um, you know,
Yes.
and
Yes.
because he comes from such a play-based background as a performer and as someone who, put himself out there in the way he did, both as, this boyish charm and yet with an amazing kind of an edge to him. There was a strength in someone of his size that you wouldn't think of, and yet he embodied it and brought it forward. And he was in the on the big screen and is in Parkinson's a bigger hero than I think most people would have tapped him to be.
That'd be so fun to play What's Not Wrong with Your Life with Michael.
Well, this is the direct offer. And so, Michael, we hope you're listening. We really want you, of course, to join us here on the dose to play with you. And as you hear from our players, we've clipped those pieces for you to join us at the Jam for Joy. Improvisation is clearly a part of your training and your background, and I'm sure it's something that you have no problem slipping into and playing with. And the
And even
joy,
if it weren't, hello,
yeah,
this is Yax. This is not your average improv.
that's the whole
And we
thing,
don't
right?
usually show up looking like this. Today's the only time we've ever dressed up.
It is explicitly, as those who know, a no prop, no costume zone on purpose, so that we manifest. And in fact, we have done this in honor of you and Christopher Lloyd and the wonderful filmmakers and fellow cast members who put together these epic films that, on the one hand, entertain, and on the other hand, inspire. And so that's who you are to us, and to me personally as a filmmaker. Your films just lit me on fire. Your performances in many of your films have done that, and to be able to share a lot of them with my kids as they've been growing, and to be both nostalgic and alive in the same moment is a powerful thing. So thank you for all those gifts. And I'll end on this to say, you know, Michael P. Keaton, in Family Ties was absolutely one of my all-time favorite characters and one of my favorite shows. And Thursday night NBC was a very special thing, and your show was a very special part of that. So,
And if
Michael,
you are out there, Michael, you're really watching this. This is yesandexercise.com. That's who we are. Yesandexercise.com. We see improv as a form of exercise to improve the quality of life.
that's right. For people with, affected by, and serving the Parkinson's community. And thanks for all you do. We'll see you next time on The Dose.